Hello everyone. Today we're gonna discuss how I overcome my avoidant attachment style, and I'm gonna share with you some of my reflections regarding what type of events I went through, maybe through my childhood, that made me become or develop this type of attachment, and what are the things I did to change my attachment style from avoidant to secure attachment style. Hopefully it's gonna benefit one of you who's facing or dealing with similar situation. And if you feel that it's struggling with your relationships in general, there is always a solution in it once you understand the root cause or the reasons why you develop this kind of things, and have acceptance to yourself that it's okay to develop these type of styles. And once you know them and embrace yourself fully, you will be able to shift them and be better or improve, and eventually your reality gonna change. Okay, so for the one who doesn't know what does attachment styles means, I'm gonna give a brief description about it. So we have almost 3 to 4 types of attachment styles. One is secure, then one avoidant, then fearful. Avoidant have 2 types actually. One dismissive avoidant attachment and fearful avoidant attachment. And we have the anxious attachment style. Okay? And it's very important because it reflects your relationship with everyone in your life, your relationship with your family, with your friends, with your partners. It reflects in all different type of relationships. And I'm gonna mention for you like how it reflected in my whole life since a childhood, through my teenage age and through my adulthood. It all affected. But once I figured it out, it all makes sense. So I think my attachment style is a dismissive and a little bit of fearful avoidant attachment. And how I know this type of things is that whenever I have a relationship, whether it's with family, with friends, or so on, I'm the kind of person who doesn't like continuous interaction or connection. Or even if I have a friend or we're going on a trip or something, I don't like to be 24 hours together. I don't like to be every day together. I feel it's so overwhelming and it's so exhausting. And when I thought about it, I thought it's only because of maybe I'm a mix of extrovert and introvert personality. So I always take it as an excuse, saying, okay, I need to recharge my energy. That's why I need to isolate myself for a little bit. And when I thought about it deeply, it's not necessarily the only reason that this happened to me, but I think it's also because when I have continuous interaction with that person for every day, I think I'm afraid to develop a deeper connection, which gonna lead me to be more vulnerable, which in my opinion was a sign of weakness. And here is the definition of the avoidant attachment, or the dismissive or fearful avoidant attachment, is the person who are afraid to be vulnerable, to be more emotionally open with the other person. He feel that if he became more vulnerable, we became more exposed, we became more weak, and then we lose control of what we think that we have control over it. So we always tend to make our mind take the decision. We always tend to be logical. We always tend to think and lead by our brain, not our heart or emotions. We develop this type of character of dismissing our emotion mainly from our childhood. So, and I found out why I became like this from my childhood. So in my childhood, I was the very obedient girl or child in this family. I was always answering everything that's asked from me. I was always the quiet one. I was always the one who doesn't do problems, who is very good at school, who doesn't require anything, doesn't show emotion or cause problems. The peacemaker. And I found out that it developed maybe because of the event I went through when I was like 6 years old or younger, of maybe I show emotion or I try to ask for help in certain situation where these needs did not be fulfilled. So automatically my subconscious mind programmed to see, okay, then I don't need to show emotion. I don't need to ask for things. I don't need to express myself, whether my needs or so on. It's better to just internalize it and fix it by myself or just shut it down. Because whenever I express it, I might not find a person who will be able to be responsive or be considerate to my emotions. And was mainly because I have 5 other siblings, so we're a total of 6, and I'm number 5. So I understand at that time my family or my parents were so busy to attend to each one of us in our emotional sides. Like they were so struggling with like fulfilling other needs of in the general interest or so on. So I think I came in a time that feeling that, okay, maybe I don't need to burden my family more. I don't need to put more trouble to them. I need to be like the quiet one, the one that does not cause lots of problem, that does not cause them to be more stressed or so on. So I was the cool, relaxed, calm one who always like playing by myself and just quiet, trying to entertain myself. If I have need, I will try to figure it out by myself. So it was like over-independent personality. And this also developed in a different aspect of my personality, which is an overachiever. Or I'm always trying to achieve things to feel or to make them happy or to make their lives much easier. So I always seek to study by myself and get grades by myself, looking for a scholarship by myself, not try to put them in burden to pay for me in my school and so on. Anything like looking for work or so on, it continue even to the older age, feeling that I'm responsible for myself, even since I was a child. I'm independent. I feel that I internalized my feelings and emotion, and I don't feel the need for someone else. Thinking that if I needed someone else, it's a sign of weakness or something I'm not used to it. Because since I was a kid, I used to shut it down because I never find the positive response when I show it. So it's like, it's something I adapted myself to, is not to ask for help and figure it out by myself. And it became my normal habits in life. So even like not asking for help or not trying always to figure things out, even when I'm in a problem or something, feeling like over independent and I will fix everything and I don't need anyone else. And it's totally not healthy, because eventually we need each other. We need help. And especially as a female, it's exhausting to even reject the help of someone else. Okay? So this was one of the reasons that could cause the avoidant attachment style that I had. Also, another thing is that Sometimes if you went through difficult situation when you are a kid, like for example a sickness, or you have a problem in school, or you have any type of issues, and you try to seek help from your parents or the caregivers, and you find that they neglected it, or they felt that okay, maybe the other family member is more important than you, and you became neglected in this type of way. So it teach you to not express or ask for help again, especially when you are, as a kid, need that help from the main or primary caregiver. Again, like the events that we go through in our childhoods is like a core lessons that teach our brain how to develop a character. And it's all for a reason. We became the way that we became as an adult because of things we went through in our childhood that made us become like this. But we can always change this. We can always, once we understand, we can change it. We can feel more safe to change these beliefs that has been established in our childhood. We can always work to enhance them. Okay? So, as a kid, you always try to prove your worth or your value to your caregiver or to other persons. But at the same time, sometimes you feel like just I want to keep them. I will be a good person so they will stay happy, or they will feel happy or feel relaxed, or I'm not gonna be a burden on them. So you always shutting down whatever you want or you're facing just because the other people, for other people interest. Okay? And you learn how to treat yourself from how your family or your parents treat you as a kid. If they didn't put you as a priority, if they didn't really care about you, you start to see, okay, maybe I should not care that much about myself. I should not put myself as a priority. And you might end up growing up putting other people's interest in front of your, above your own interest. Unless you became aware of it and you change it. Then, how does this reflect in my adulthood and even like in my teenagers years? So I was the kind of person who, if I have friends, let's say in the intermediate school or so on, and we got separated or any type of things, or from different classes or so on, I would automatically think that they don't want to be friends with me. And I will not be open to confront or talk about it or see like what type of things or how we can fix it or what's wrong. I will just directly cut it out and look for another friends. Although I wanted this friendship to continue, but because I cannot express that emotion, I'm not used to express my needs and emotion and be open of how I feel or even understand my feelings. So I will just be logical and end it up and not deal with it, because if I dealt with it, it's a vulnerability, and then as I saw it before is a weakness, which is totally wrong. And even in a different type of friendships, like I remember in high school, I used to have a friends, like we used to talk and chat and have fun all the time, let's say most of the week. And then one day of the week, I would be like neglecting and not talking to her at all. And she was like the first person who told me like, what's wrong? Like why your one day is like you're bubbly and you're friendly with us, and then the other day we feel like you're sad or you're hating us or you don't talk to us. And I think this pattern developed unconsciously in me because I'm afraid to be so intimate or so close in this friendship. So I always felt that I need to retreat, I need to isolate, I need to pull back so I will not go too deep or to have too strong friendships or too deep relationship. And this is one of the main character of the avoidant attachment. They are afraid of having a deep connection with other people because they see deep connection means vulnerability. Vulnerability is scary. It's so scary for them because they see it as weakness. They see it as something they unknown. They never dealt with it. They never experienced it. So they see it as like, we cannot do this. Let us pull back and run away a little bit. Then we can go a little bit on. They want a relationship, but they were afraid to get too deep because it's something unknown. Okay? So yeah, and this also reflects in all other relationships. So mostly the avoidant attachment, who have avoidant attachment style, they also not used to physical touch or word of good affirmation or even or any type of a deep warm connection. So you will find them feeling so weird that they don't know how to react when they have a physical touch with someone they like or even like a friends or so on. They're not used to say emotional things or listen to emotional things or receive emotional compliment, let's say. So they are not used to it, okay? But again, in the treatment, or let's say when we shift to secure, this is the thing that you need to work on. And I will discuss it at the end of this video. So another thing in as an adult avoidant attachment style is that they really don't be open with their emotion. They don't express it. They don't know how to describe their emotions clearly or how they feel. Other than they analyze it and make it more logic. Even if any type of relationship, they always try to see okay, why is it happening? Why I feel like this? Or they make it more of a logical, like 1 + 1 = 2, more on that, like, how is my feeling? How do I feel? What is my sensation in the right moment? Because they never have this connection with their emotions, or they don't know the road to their emotions. So they always trying to make it out of logic, to overanalyze it. It's like a mathematical a matter. So that's why they always try to calculate things. When they start in a relationship, they start to calculate things like a checklist, like he need to have this and this and this. If they don't have like this, if this thing is missing, and so on. They don't ask themselves, like, how am I feeling? Am I happy? Am I feeling love? What does love means to me? And this is why they will have lots of difficulty to fall in love or to form a deep relationship, because they never experience or know what is it like from their childhood. So now let's go a little bit, and this is actually, again, this is what happening in a relationship. They will be talking in the first stages and be so warm and so on, and then they suddenly feel overwhelmed, and they might disappear for 1 day or 2 days and might retreat or let's say just pull back with no reason, with nothing. And they say, like, maybe it's because of energy. And this is what I used to say, like, I need to recharge my energy. It's so much for me. But in the reality, it's actually maybe running away when things really became very connected, when they feel that they became attached to that person. So how to break this pattern is, first of all, to recognize it, to be honest with yourself, to really dig deep on the hidden reasons why you act the way you are. And then try to understand, what could cause me to be like this? You need to be very honest with yourself, because sometimes we give excuses to ourselves. We give excuses, maybe, because I get bored, maybe because, it's not interesting, or you feel like, I need to focus on myself, I need more energy, I'm an introverted personality, or so on. They are all excuses to run from the main reason that you don't feel safe to be vulnerable and open emotionally with this person's. And so you start to be afraid and scared, and you feel that you need to pull back. So the first thing is you need to believe that you are safe to be connected and deeply connected with someone else. You will not be hurt as you have been hurt as a kid. You will not be rejected as you get rejected as a kid. And even if you do so, you're more stronger now. You can deal with it, you can overcome it. And vulnerability is not a weakness. To be vulnerable is actually a very courageous and very strong characteristic. To be vulnerable, to be in touch with your emotion, to be expressive of your emotions, and not to put expectation on the other person. Just be connected to your true self and how do you feel, and say it. Not keep the other person speculating or thinking, maybe this and this. Honesty and transparency is very important for you before them. Once you understand your feeling and you start to communicate it properly with the other person, this is vulnerability. Once you see, okay, I'm afraid of this, I'm scared of this, this is vulnerability, and this is required courage. And it's okay to do so. Nothing will hurt you. Nothing will break you down. And even if it does, you will be able to go back up because you're strong. You're not a kid anymore. You're not a child anymore. You overcome so many things in your life. You can also overcome this thing. You will be able to allow yourself to release all of this weight of thinking, I need to overachieve, I need to be better, I need to hold back my emotions, I need to shut down and not listen to my inner self or how I feel, and just be you, the true you, with all the good and bad, with all the positive and negative traits. You accept yourself in all parts. And once you accept yourself in all of these, whether flaws, whether any type of things you might call them, other people will start to accept you, and you will have a safe space to be able to feel safe to express your emotions. So sometimes might be one of the things that will help you to really change your avoidant attachment to secure attachment is to have a person with secure attachment who is accepting you with all your parts, accepting you with the time you go and with the time you come, with the time you disappear, and understand this and still stay and still feel you, and he give you that space to figure out things or thinking about things, and assure you that he will be here when you come back. And gradually you will start to break through this pattern because you felt safe to be yourself. You felt safe to take the time and reflect on the way that you are acting. We all need this type of person who give us this safety to internalize our thoughts and see how can I be different, and give me that space. And when I have the space, I will be able to figure it out and flourish. But we need sometimes this person. Sometimes you can do it by yourself. If you try to connect with yourself more, do the exercise of like understanding your feeling and having this connection journaling, and lots of other stuff you can do. But sometimes might be a person that will help you to have this acceptance, have this space with yourself. And then once you realize your pattern, you will be able to change this pattern. And this is what I did. I start to understand the way I'm acting with my relationships, with my friendship, with my family, with all my different type of relationships. And then I start to see, like, why am I acting like this? I start to dig deep and study and search till I understand what type of attachment I have and what caused them to form as me as an adult. And then from that, I have this acceptance. I have this empathy with my inner child, saying it's okay now. I don't need to be like this anymore. I'm much stronger than this. I'm gonna be the parents my inner child wished for. And I accept the way I become because I understand it. Because I feel it. I have empathy for it. But it doesn't need to continue. So what I did is that every time I see myself trying to do the same pattern of like pulling off, just trying to shut down, trying to not be open, and repeating same cycle, I would say, no, stop. I'm not gonna do this anymore. I'm gonna do the opposite, whether like reaching out or talking out, even when I'm afraid, even when I'm scared to be that vulnerable, I'm gonna do it because, as I told you, it needs courage. It really needs courage to be brave. But once you do it, it became so easy. You just need to practice it, repeat it, then it became very easy to just initiate or just take the first step or do the things that you're afraid to do. And then it became much easier. Also, one of the things that really helped me is that even in the beginning, when you feel like you still don't know how to do the step, or you're still in the process of fixing your avoidant attachment, one of the things that really indicate maturity and awareness is that you let the other person know. So for example, you feel that you are exhausted, or you feel that you are afraid, or whatever it is, you can tell the person, okay, tomorrow I'm not gonna contact you, or this week I need a break for myself. I'm not gonna contact you, but after that I will. So don't be afraid, don't get into your head, or sometimes like they will start thinking they did something wrong or whatever. But once you assure them that it's okay, I just need my time, I just need some space with my inner thoughts, and I will be back. This is really a big first step you can do in any type of relationship, just to inform the other person, not just disappear. Disappearing suddenly, it's really disrespectful, and it really torture the other person of thinking like, did I did something wrong? Are we ending up? They give us too much of thoughts. It's so bad for anyone to feel like this. So once you really start to feel, okay, I need to change this one, at least the first step, tell them I'm gonna need a time off, but I will be back. So don't worry about it, just give me this time. And if they understand enough, they will give you the space. They will understand whatever you go through, and they will just wait for you. And sometimes they will just assure you that it's okay, take your time, I understand, and I will let you process whatever you're processing in your life till you are able to overcome this type of like pulling back. So it's not something you can treat in one day, in one night, but it's a process. And believe me, it works. I used to be that person. I used to be the one who will just disappear one day and not answer or do all of these type of things and so on. But I changed because I now became aware of why am I doing it, why I used to do it. And I choose not to do it anymore. I choose to feel safe with my emotion. I choose to feel safe to love and be loved. And this is very, very important. It's not about the other person. It's about you. This journey we go through life, it's our own journey. It's within us. Everyone else is just playing some rules. For us, it's a game, it's a show. But the main actress, the main hero is you. So it depends on you. And most of the time, it's about safety. The more you keep reminding yourself it's safe. It's safe to love someone and not expect anything in return. It's safe to be emotionally open and express how I'm feeling and not be that much afraid of to be hurt. It's safe to, even if I get hurt, I know I'm strong enough that I can be stronger and get up later on. So safety is something you really gain from God, from the main source. Safety is not from one person, it's not from a feeling, it's not from any type of materialistic thing. It's a bigger source of safety, which is from God. Once you see that I'm always safe because I'm always connected to God, then nothing else is I'm gonna be afraid of. I will go and experience life to the fullest because I'm with the biggest source of safety, which is God. So you will enjoy life more. You will be able to taste this type of beautiful feeling that if the creator did not create this type of feeling in you, then why is it, what is the benefit? Like, there is always a benefit of these emotions and feelings. And it's beautiful when you taste different type of them. And there is a reason and wisdom behind it. So don't be afraid to get hurt. Don't be afraid to do something you're scared of. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to take this brave step. Because sometimes we over magnify things while they actually don't worth anything. Like, when you feel like, oh, it's so big deal, a big step. But then when you do it, you say like, it's not worth the bother. Why did I was so afraid of? So it's a step by step. It's a journey, but it's a beautiful journey. Believe me, because I was there and thankfully I became in a different way. And I'm still processing. I'm not saying that I reach like a 100% secure attachment, but I am in that way. And the more you feel it, the more you will have abundance of love. The more you feel secure to give love and receive love without being afraid. Like, fear is our main enemy in life. Honestly, everything. Fear is the biggest enemy we need to fight. Or not necessarily fight, just not let it control us. And acknowledge it, but let it go. Not make it control our life. Okay? So this is my story. From an avoidant attachment or dismissive avoidant attachment to a secure attachment. What's the reason or event that made me be like this, and how the steps, or what is the steps that help me to overcome it. If you're struggling with the same issue, you can always contact me through my WhatsApp or my channels, the one I'm gonna put in the description. I can always help you to discuss more deep and help you understand what are the root causes that made you do this, and follow up with you in the coaching sessions to be able to overcome step by step and analyze, or let's say be able to feel this type of feeling and be more in connect or in touch with your feelings, with your beautiful feelings. Don't hesitate to ask for help. I'm Basma Lubed. I'm a life coach, mindset life coach, and also specialized in feminine and masculine energy. Don't be ashamed to or be afraid to contact me or reach for me. And also, if you like this video, please like and share and subscribe my channels. I will try to do other attachment styles. If you're interested to know more about them, please let me know in the comment, and I will try to do other episode talking about this. Thank you so much for listening, and I wish you a beautiful life.